right that they picked the natural habitat of our mascot, the Falcon, as the Air Force Academy. Located at the foot of the Rampart Range of the Rocky Mountains, north of Colorado Springs, the Academy is the expression in metal and masonry of the clear purpose and limited future of the Air Force career officer. I've been here almost 4 years now. I'll be graduating from the Academy in June. Yet I can't help wondering about the men who'll follow me. New cadets, the fourth classmen. Who will they be? Chances are the new cadet will be a great deal like you. At least 17 and not yet 22 years old. Not necessarily a genius, but gets good grades because he works at it. He's in good physical condition, likes the outdoor sports. Also, he mixes well, gets along with people. A fellow you'd like to meet and to know. He's the kind of young man with definite plans for the future. Yes, that's the raw material which makes an Air Force cadet, but that's only the beginning. When I remember the shock of those first weeks, you've just come from a fairly casual civilian life with few restrictions, and you've passed some really stiff requirements just to get this far. You might begin to think that you're somebody special. Let me give you the ungarbled word. You're not special here. You are about to live under tough regulations that should develop the highest kind of... If you can't take pressure, we want to find out about it now. Because someday men's lives and your country's survival will depend upon how well you stand up under pressure. Real pressure. I'll tell you now, in all honesty, the first year is rough. You'll get so blasted mad at the Academy that you'll want to quit a dozen times. But you know, you won't do it. When you get too unhappy about it, remember all the new cadets are sitting on the edge of their chairs. Oddly enough, the force that welds you together into a fighting fourth class is your common bond of misery. As I look back, I can tell you it was well worth it. Let me show you what the Academy has to offer. This is the academic building. You'll spend anywhere from 4 to 8 hours a day in its classrooms and labs. The classes are small. This means that you'll get ample opportunity to sound off about your ideas. And most important, if you run into difficulties, the instructors have the problem individual attention. Your professors in uniform hold advanced degrees in their chosen fields and are eminently qualified to teach in any major university. The Academy gives you a well-balanced college education. During the 4 years, you will get a strong foundation in the basic and applied sciences with emphasis on aeronautics. Academy graduates must know enough science to understand the impact of scientific breakthroughs on the weapons and tactics. Through a course in astronautics, of manned and unmanned flight through space. But Air Force officers need to know more than scientific principles. Thorough grounding in the social sciences and the humanities. For they will be leaders of men. They must deserve the support of civilian populations, both at home and abroad, to participate in the formulation of national defense policy. The curriculum qualifies you for a Bachelor of Science degree. Cadets with special ability or preparation in the engineering sciences, public affairs, or other. Air Force parallel the academic program. Include flying training, education, and military and leadership studies. You'll start to become familiar with aircraft operations almost from the day you arrive. You won't have a military pilot, but you will take familiarization rides in jet trainers, and you'll receive an introduction to pilot training. Upon graduation, if you qualify physically, you will take full-scale military pilot training. As far as we can see into the future, the Air Force will need piloted aircraft and piloted spacecraft, as well as guided missiles. Perhaps you'll be the commander of a supersonic B-58, of a jet interceptor flying at twice the speed of sound. You may be part of this picture of scientific precision. Or here, exploring the mysteries of space. Whatever your goal, it means 4 tough years of study, discipline, and increasing responsibility. But it isn't all brain. Every cadet also participates in the physical education program. This doesn't mean that you're expected to be a football flash or track star, but you compete as a member of intramural teams if you're not engaged in a seasonal sport. In such games, you not only learn to compete, you also develop physical stamina, and you learn how to set up physical education programs for the men you will one day command. As our cadet wing grows slowly in strength, our varsity teams are becoming well known throughout the nation. Even now, we aren't exactly leagues, not with an undefeated season and a Cotton Bowl game the first year we had a senior class. The principles of sportsmanship and personal honor are not limited to the playing fields. That wing lives and operates under an honor system. The cadets themselves administer the honor code, which states, "We will not lie, cheat, or steal, nor tolerate among us those who do." This means that a cadet's word is accepted. Cadets have an opportunity for religious worship. Emphasis is given to sound spiritual and moral values. A full understanding of military operations can't be gained in the classroom, so you'll take field trips to see the real thing. Typical Air Force bases of both combat and support commands. At a Strategic Air Command base, did firsthand with its crews and equipment. Visiting a Tactical Air Command base, you may see a demonstration of precision flying by the famed Thunderbirds. With the command, you'll learn about its mission and perhaps go along with interception. For an understanding of the whole national defense structure, you'll observe of your sister services, Navy carrier landings, by the Marines, Army demonstrations, perhaps at Fort Benning, exciting introduction to paratroop training. During summers, if you're as lucky as I was, a month visiting U.S. and Allied military installations overseas. Perhaps you'll get an insight into the operation of the Air Force. On my visit, as a token of friendship, the British cadets gave fire for the Academy. We had time to see Big Ben, the Houses of Parliament, another historic place. In France, we met the Supreme Commander, Allied Powers, Europe, received a briefing on the problems and capabilities, and in Paris. We got to know the cadets of the Spanish Air Academy, and of course, took in a bullfight. We visited the memorial at Tempelhof, honoring the airlift that sustained West Berlin during the 49 blockade. Our schedule in Germany included, as well, a trip into East Berlin. Another summer, we made installations in the Pacific area. Alaska, now the 49th state. Japan. Formosa. And then home via Hawaii, where we paid tribute to the men who died with the battleship Arizona in the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Attended an official reception and enjoyed a trip to the beach at Waikiki. There are things that I haven't yet mentioned. You'll cement life friendships in this upper-class lounge. You'll have fine facilities for free time activities. You'll have great latitude in organizing your own clubs and choosing the clubs you wish to join. You'll enjoy a variety of social activities, dances, receptions, movies, social events. You've seen some of the highlights of a cadet's life and times, where he lives, how he lives. While your pay will be $111.15, enough to buy uniforms and expenses. Upon graduation, you will be commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. Now, how do you go about getting into the academy? What do you have to do? You can start the ball rolling by applying for a nomination. In most cases, you should apply to your U.S. Senator or Representative. But there are also other nominating authorities. Young men in the armed services, for example, may apply through their commanding. If you're not sure of the proper procedure, the registrar at the Air Force Academy will be glad to send you all the information you'll need. Just write to the Registrar, United States Air Force Academy, Colorado. It will be the most important letter of your life. For a career in the Air Force offers a mighty great opportunity. Today's frontier is straight into the reaches of space. The surest way there is to take my place at the States Air Force Academy.